Okay, so what's up, guys? We're going to be talking about PhD officially being within Black Ops 4 Zombies. PhD Slider is the official name of this perk within the game. Obviously, the leaked trophies for Black Ops 4 hinted at, well, it doesn't really hint at it, it specifically says PhD Slider within the trophy. I'm going to talk about the trophy, talk about the specifics. It may not be exactly what we expect it to be, but at least it's not like a gobblegum that's slightly different, has the effect of PhD, but it's not even called PhD. Like, we wanted PhD back in the game. We didn't want variations of it. We didn't want different, elements of it in gobblegums and different stuff like that. And I feel like now we're actually getting it. PhD Slider, at least by the name, it should be what we all imagine it to be. I'm gonna go through within this video what it should be, the specifics of it, why it might change. I'm also gonna play a clip of Jason Blundell actually talking about PhD, and he actually contradicts himself. So we're gonna go through all that within this video. If you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. We can go for 50 likes. And if you want to check out the video, I go through and explain and talk about every single Black Ops 4 leaked trophy achievement in this game. The link will be in the description below, so definitely check that out. That goes through all the different Easter eggs and the new wonder weapons and stuff like that within all 4 of the maps, including classified. Bunch of new information on that, so that's pretty cool. But this video here, I just want to specifically talk about PhD Slider because it's such a big deal and it's been such a hot topic. It's something we've been wanting and talking about for such a long time. So PhD Slider here, let me just talk to you guys. The official achievement name is The Doctor Is In. It says use PhD Slider to fall 10 feet and kill 10 zombies at once. So this is interesting here. The wording is weird. So use PhD Slider to fall 10 feet. So I don't understand fall 10 feet. I mean, when you slide, you're not fall. I guess it just means move 10 feet forward. Fall 10 feet seems like you're falling and you're going like in a downward motion. To me, that's what it seems like, but I guess the wording here is just a little weird, and kill 10 zombies at once. But if you imagine what PhD Slider is, it's in the name. You're sliding, you can slide, obviously I'm guessing up to 10 feet here, and as you slide, you have the PhD explosion effect, and the achievement is to kill 10 zombies at once. So it's obviously maybe a little hard. You need to get a bunch of zombies up in a trained sort of location, and then you turn around, you have to run a little bit, and then slide through. I'm pretty sure you sort of need this running start, because if you just automatically slide, then maybe it's not going to work as well. Or, maybe if you just slide without having a running start, you won't move as much. Maybe there are, that type, there's a mechanic in that where the slide distance actually changes depending on what you're doing. With the dolphin dive PhD flopper, you just dolphin dive, and obviously, I guess depending on the height, it'll make a larger explosion or something to that effect. But with this, maybe it's just going to be a sort of running start, and that'll depend on the distance. But here's the thing as well, it doesn't necessarily say it's a perk. And I do think with Black Ops 4 Zombies, if you look at the leaks and stuff, gobblegums probably are going to be returning to some extent. It'll be a different style, but the overall essence of gobblegums will be within the game. And the thing with Black Ops 3, and the big problem we had, was that they didn't really want to add new perks to the game. They wanted to add sort of the new perk, the perks that would have been perks were instead gobblegums, pretty much. So any new sort of effect they wanted to add, any new ability they wanted to put into the game, any new sort of upgrade you can get that would have been a perk in an old Treyarch game is actually a gobblegum in Black Ops 3. So with Black Ops 4, I feel like that's going to be the same style, but maybe they're just starting off with a bunch of new perks. PhD Slider is going to be one of them. Something they thought that, people have been asking for this, they want it, and let's just finally bring it to them. So whether or not they add new perks throughout the season, we're not so sure. But before we go through anything here, I want to play this clip from Jason Blundell actually talking about PhD back in Zombies Chronicles, and he pretty much said that it just didn't make sense for the mechanics, and he didn't want to change it just because people want it. He pretty much said it was meant for dolphin diving, and why have it for sliding, because it's just meant for dolphin diving. So I'm gonna play this minute-long clip here, and I'll talk about this in a second.
That I thought maybe you could help us locate.
Okay.
So I have a photo of it.
Yep.
If you have any information, it would be incredibly important if you could bring it forward. Where in the world is PhD Flopper?
I'm glad you brought that question up. Thank you for the picture aid as well. Here's the thing, it's a very simple answer. It's a change of mechanic.
So,
Because
I guess the dolphin dive is gone.
it's the dolphin dive, right? It's not because I think people have seen theories saying, oh, Jason hates PhD flopper. It's a mechanical change. For me to kind of put that in, and there was ways, but I didn't think it was authentic to kind of do that unless you could do it the way it was originally introduced. Like, could I have budgeted it in? Sure, but I'm glad that everyone has a special place in their heart for it, and maybe it'll one day show up again.
I just imagine in your office is a dartboard, and on the dartboard is a picture of PhD flopper. When you're stressed out, just a little.
Well, no, it's quite the opposite. In my room is a PhD flopper that I get my drinks from. So it's,
ooh. Like the Juggernaut fridge?
Exactly.
That's pretty sick. I really hope that's real.
You'll come back to my office in a bit so you can have a look. Yeah.
So obviously he says, you know, maybe it'll happen in the future or something, and that's the case. I guess he finally decided that, you know what, even though it was originally meant for dolphin diving, you might as well just throw it in, put it for sliding. I don't really mind that it is a different perk. PhD slider is not PhD flopper. It's obviously pretty much PhD. It's based on PhD. It's definitely what we want, and the mechanics of it would just be slightly different, but it's still fine. I think everyone's still okay with PhD slider. I think we would rather have PhD slider than, you know, absolutely no PhD whatsoever. So Jason Blundell, I guess within development, he changed his mind. He thought, you know what, let's just do it. Let's put it within the game. Hopefully the mechanics are nice and smooth and good, and hopefully it's a decent perk to use, and we'll just see. Maybe it's, you know, sort of the new like Widow's Wine replacement. It can get you out of tough situations, and when there's a lot of zombies surrounding you, can just like sort of slide right through them. I don't want it to be OP as well, because, you know, when you think about it, it may sound a little OP, but hopefully it's just a good perk to use to get, you know, to have those like sort of Widow's Wine situations that we saw back in Black Ops 3. That being said, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comment section below if you're hyped that PhD is returning to the game. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.